Hello guys, today we're going to talk about the movie The Mask of Zorro. You know, that late 90s Zorro movie that I feel like everyone my age has seen, but don't always think about. The movie was released in 1998, it's rated PG-13, it's about 2 hours and 16 minutes long. It has 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, with about 160,000-ish user votes, and 63% on Metacritic with about 22 critics. Stars Antonio Banderas, who was in Desperado, and Anthony Hopkins, who was in Silence of the Lambs. The movie was directed by Martin Campbell, who did Casino Royale, the James Bond movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 82% by critics, with 71 critics, and 72% by audiences, with about 375-ish user audience people. And the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is that Banderas returns as an aging Zorro and a surprisingly nimble and entertaining swashbuckler. Alright, so this movie is available to stream on Netflix right now, so that's pretty cool, and in 4K nonetheless. It is available to rent and buy on Amazon, Vudu, YouTube Store, Google Play, iTunes, Microsoft Store, and it's available to buy only on DirecTV. And the DVD was released also in '98. So I actually love this movie a lot. It definitely has a throwback feel to it. It definitely feels like it's not just like a typical action movie. There's a lot of filming techniques used that are incredibly old school that I love to death. The acting is great. Direction's very solid. The movie goes at a very great pace. Has some good humor moments. It also feels a lot of great lines in this movie, and the villains are actually very good too. Um, it's weird. It's weird to think of Anthony Hopkins like playing someone who's of Mexican descent, but he sells it well. He sells it very well. Um, that's just because he's such a great actor. Um, the movie is actually a bit more violent than you may think. I mean, it's not like grotesquely violent, but there's some moments that make you go, "Oh," ooh, you know. It's it's definitely something you may have to watch out for. And I think the violence was just to kind of punch it up a little bit, because Zorro is often associated with family stuff. And granted, this isn't like an adult movie. It's definitely something you can show kids, but it's definitely something to show maybe your slightly older kids. Um, but I love this movie. It's fantastically paced for sure. It's incredibly well shot. The cinematography in this film is just amazing. Acting's great. Story's solid. It has a good dark edge to it that I love. It's not to the point where it becomes a dark movie, but it's enough to kind of give the film an edge to make it feel like to make you feel the stakes and what can happen and what you don't want to happen. I think I don't, the villains in this film, specifically one of them, has kind of depth to him, and I guess I wouldn't mind if they explored it a tad more. But in all honesty, I'm fine with what they had here, and that in itself is kind of nitpicky. I was just thinking of if there was anything. Um, they did make a sequel to this. It sucks. Don't watch it. It's not really worth the time. I don't. I I really think that there's potential to do more with Zorro nowadays, and I think this movie's proof of that. I just think if they're gonna do this film today, I think it would done do incredibly well. It might actually do better. And this movie did great in '98, but if it was released now, I think it would be skyrocketed. But yeah, there's not much more I can say. It is very available. You can easily watch it if you haven't. But Mask of Zorro. I mean, there was a ton of Zorro stuff back in the day, but I don't know of any of them that reached the height of this one, but I don't know. What is the best Zorro movie? I'm gonna leave you guys that up in the comments to tell me like what you think is the best Zorro movie. Because as far as this is the only Zorro thing I've seen really, but I know they made stuff like through the black and white and days and like when color came, they made some stuff through that. But I don't know of any of them that was like everyone was like, oh yeah, this is Zorro through and through. I mean, you can't get better than this, you know. But yeah, it's a great movie. Check it out. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.